I'm back with another video for the top 5 series. So here are the top 5 reasons why I would probably never buy in a 55 plus community. Number 5, lack of diversity. I prefer to live among people of different ages, ethnicities, and occupations. And obviously, there's the age restriction in 55 plus communities. But as far as ethnicities and occupations, I notice in the ads there's not really anyone represented who looks like me or who prefers to do anything other than play pickleball, golf, or to socialize in general. They don't show anyone engaged with people and organizations outside of the community, and they don't show anyone doing business or strategizing multiple streams of income. And that makes sense because the idea is if you can afford to live in one of these places, then you're probably set financially, you're already wealthy, and you don't need to worry about things like that. Which leads me to number 4, too expensive. To buy into one of these communities, there are a lot of fees. Some of them are hidden. So first of all, there's the price of the home. Then you have high HOA fees. You have land lease fees a lot of times. You have special assessments, and you have additional membership fees. So the price of the home may seem lower than buying just a regular home in another neighborhood, but when you take into consideration all of the other fees, it's really not a better value. In fact, it's probably more expensive. As far as the high HOA fees, it's nice not having to take care of the lawn, the lawn and maintenance of landscaping, but that fee can really do damage to a monthly budget. Now, in my situation, I take care of my own outdoor maintenance. I do my own lawn mowing and I do my own landscaping. It is a lot of work, but it does keep me active and it helps me to save a lot of money. Now, there probably will come a time when I decide that I don't want to do it anymore. But even hiring someone local, a neighbor to do it for me will be much less expensive than these high HOA fees that I see. And I know that those HOA fees also include things like roof replacements, windows, and siding. Well, when I was shopping for a home, one of my requirements was that the home be fairly new. This home is like 25 years old, but the roof was replaced a few years ago. So I don't expect to have to replace that anytime soon. And the siding's in good shape. The windows do need replacing, but it's not an emergency. It's something that I can save up for. So the land lease fee. This is usually the biggest hidden cost. When I'm on Zillow or Redfin and I see a home that's priced so low that it's too good to be true, usually upon reading the fine print, I find out that not only is it in a 55 plus community, but there's also a land lease fee involved. And this is something in addition to the HOA fee. And it can usually be upwards of $800 to $900 per month. So the thing about the land lease fee is you own your structure, but you are leasing the land and there is a landowner. So it can be problematic. Yes, the upfront costs may be lower and the property taxes might be slightly lower, but you have no equity in the land. The land lease can go up, it can increase. And technically, if that lease expires, you can lose your home because the landowner is in control of what is on their property. As for special assessments, that comes along with pretty much any HOA. So, along with the extra fees you might have to pay each year for emergencies, maintenance, and repairs of the outdoor space and the communal space in these type of communities, keeping up appearances is very important. So you could be charged thousands in special assessment for things like renovating a clubhouse or building new pickleball courts or adding a fitness center. And another hidden cost are the additional membership fees. So in the advertisements, they show especially the golf course, but you don't realize till later on that the golf course requires an additional membership fee. And there are other additional membership fees for things such as renting out ballrooms. Number 3, nosy neighbors. You get this variety wherever you live, but there seems to be a concentration of them in 55 plus communities. People who keep track of your comings and goings, keep track of your mail, ring your doorbell because they need someone to talk to, stop you when you're on your way somewhere because they need someone to talk to. Find reasons to criticize and complain about you. Number 2, poor resale value. So in a 55 plus community, there is a smaller market of potential buyers due to the high fees that we've discussed and the restrictive rules that we're going to discuss next. But one of the common rules is you don't need to be 55 to own in the community, but you do need to be 55 or older to live in the home. And the number one reason why I would probably never live in a 55 plus community is the rules. So they have extensive, very strict rules about things like pets, visitors, and the way you keep your property. The rules are designed to maintain a peaceful and quiet atmosphere that's supposedly desired by retirees. But these rules are very restrictive, especially the guest policies. According to federal law, 80% of the units must be occupied by someone age 55 or older. If you have a visitor under 55 years old, they can only stay usually between 2 to 4 weeks per year. And there are often restrictions on children's use of amenities like the pool, for example. An overnight guest might need to be registered with the community office. So it just makes me question, if I have a limited amount of time that my guests can come, why do I need this giant house with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths and 2 floors? And as I previously mentioned, property appearance is very important in these communities. They must maintain their idyllic look. And that means you probably would need approval from the HOA if you wanted to change paint colors or do your own type of landscaping or add things like decks and fencing. Also, there are restrictions a lot of times on the number and type of vehicles that would be allowed to park in the driveway. So those are my top 5 reasons for choosing not to live in a 55 plus community. And a close runner up is the fact that I'm not even old enough yet to live in a 55 plus community, but I do know at least one person who currently lives in a 55 plus community, and I can attest to the things that I said in this list, that they are actually a problem a lot of times. I hope you've enjoyed this top 5 video. If so, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and share it with someone else who might find it interesting. Thank you. Stay inspired and keep thriving.